Ladies and gentlemen, Geek-tastic Cypher.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, comment allez-vous?
Ça va très bien, et vous?
Pas pire. Vive
Hey.
la langue française.
Comme ci, comme ça.
Funny enough, I actually do believe the French language is important. I just think the way that the Quebec government goes about stuff is crazy. So,
Wait, hold on. We're starting with some crazy shit right off the bat here in our comments.
how about comments? What do we get? Oh, here we go. What is this long comment? Just want to preemptively add that y'all never owned your ridiculous claim that Kanye's numbers would compete with nonsense. They have no music.
Wow, I'm almost positive we didn't say that Kanye would do better than Drake.
We never said he was going to do better. Yeah, we
know how much power Drake has, right? When it comes to that, but I do still stand by. I prefer Kanye's album if I had to choose one.
It's funny that people picked and chose what they listen to when we talk, because we never said Kanye was going to sell more than Drake.
Nope.
I said I would like to think he could, but we already, because I don't know if they remember, because it seems like it's selective memory, but we also discussed the fact that when Kanye went up against 50 and we had that whole discussion. So if you guys remember, you know what, guys, from now on, take notes. If you really want to try and come back with us,
or mark down the time, like how far into the stream it was, so we can pull clips.
the receipts, the receipts you supposedly have are on there. We all have access.
I'm not gonna go back and do your homework for you.
Timestamp the conversation, so go and check the timestamps. There's a little trick if you guys don't know. When you watch a YouTube video, you can do the closed caption. And sometimes on a YouTube video, the auto generated closed caption can give you a full script of what was said, and then you can Control F and search the script for the things. I've done that before to find it's like special statements and claims that people have made.
That's a good tip, actually.
So if you truly believe that we were in the wrong, by all means, everything's there to find these supposed clips of us being wrong.
We ain't hiding, and if I did say it, then I'll fuck it. I'm not gonna apologize. I probably meant it at the time too, even if that is true.
In what world do I owe people an apology because I was incorrect about record sales for artists that I genuinely don't actually care about?
That's the nice turn.
It's got to that point. It's become pretty hard. If you ask me who my favorite artist in terms of the rap world anyway is concerned, I don't necessarily have an answer today.
I think I was pretty clear that these bitches released the 6th or 7th Man on the Bench albums, and they need to go back to the chopping block and figure out what they're doing. But all that aside,
I might even go with Kendrick just because he's the one that I feel like usually has some kind of message. I like his choice of instrument. Why not?
Wait, so you're saying, okay, so what you're describing right now is a retired heavyweight. It's Kanye, because
he's not retired.
Yeah, he's not a heavyweight anymore.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. And then you have Drake, who is a Conor McGregor. He came out punching. He's flashy, but his last few fights, he didn't do so well. Case in point,
I don't know if I agree with that analogy, but we'll keep going.
But I'll say it this way: Conor McGregor could still get into the ring, still make the most money, and still take an L. And Drake's last album is him making all the sales, breaking all the records, and this is not his best album. That's an L.
Interesting.
That's the way
I get the reason for the comparison, but there might be a better one out there.
Yeah. And then so you're putting those two in the ring with Kendrick, who's fucking King Kong. At this point, this is King Kong stepping on the ring.
Yeah, Kendrick should be far more. I don't want to say popular, because who knows what he wants in terms of popularity, but he should definitely be more in the. But the problem is he's not as consistent as these guys too, right?
Yeah,
these guys are dropping an album a year every 2 years.
Yeah,
we haven't seen Kendrick in 4 years, and he just dropped a feature with his cousin a couple weeks ago. You know. So that's the only thing that but when he comes when he comes into the picture, it's almost no doubt that he's the best at that point.
And that's why Kendrick and like Andre 3 Stacks are people who believe in quality over quantity.
Yeah, I guess I get it for sure. Like,
and
100%, that's what it is.
Craig, I'll say this. When I used to be the hip hop music director at the radio station, and I genuinely did not feel I liked hip hop the same way, the new hip hop that was coming out, I stepped down because I shouldn't be the gatekeeper when it comes to who's going to be played on the radio. But when it comes to the hip hop right now that I'm listening to, I like hip hop now. It's just I'm not going to pussyfoot around it. As a fan of the culture, I'm going to expect the best, especially since when we were kids listening to hip hop, they didn't have the same money that they have now. Hip hop wasn't considered pop. Hip hop wasn't the top of the game. Like, you know, Jay-Z and all those, dude, they wouldn't even play Left Eye's rap versions of the TLC songs on the radio. And now the radio is mostly rap songs.
It's crazy
it's
to
pop
think.
And rap.
It's definitely like what shifts the culture.
Yeah, man. So when I say I expect better, if we are now setting the tone and raising the bar as hip hop fans, the same way I said, and I've said this about the same superhero stuff that we watch, all the superhero stuff that we watch, all the hip hop that we consume, everything that us blurs have been into from day one, that is now the top of the fucking food chain, y'all need to step it the fuck up. Because you can't come into the ring after all these years of us waiting for you to be the best of the best and deliver crap like this. Sorry, Kanye. Sorry, Drake. Sorry, all these superhero shows, CW and stuff. I don't want it. You guys have to do better. The bar is there. We need to see better. We need to see better.
But the only problem with like rap, it's just so different now. Like it's not even, we can't even judge it by the same criteria that we judged rap fair. 10 years ago, right? It's just,
of course,
it's its own thing now, and it may not be for you. It's obviously still popular. The genre keeps changing and evolving into different things. So I think just the phase that it's in right now, it's got a lot more, in my opinion, you know, not a lot of it is for me right now.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
I still think they can be better though.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Because right now, here's what happens with music. Here's the trick that I think a lot of people ignore. Once a genre of music gets popular, they start deciding that they're going to keep reusing the formula. They don't challenge themselves anymore. So now that everything is pop rap, they're just like, oh, well, we just need to do this to maintain our popularity. And they don't try and evolve. And funny enough, when I see people getting mad about Kanye and how his production is and the things that he's trying to do, I think that comes from the fact that Kanye still seems to be trying to do something. I don't know if he's hitting it. I don't know if he's actually making the mark, but he seems to be trying something. Whether or not that attempt landed, I definitely don't think so, but that's my opinion. But I definitely think these guys could do better. They could do better. That's always
100%. 100%.
That's my vibe right now.
Yeah, I look forward to when the Kendricks drop and stuff like that. J. Cole too, you know, in some cases, not the biggest J. Cole fan, but he's got bangers. J. Cole's definitely a rapper's rapper.
Yeah.
But in the battle, we all know at the end of the day, Drake did do the numbers.
Oh,
so
God,
So it's like the election, right? He won the popular vote, but I don't think, in my opinion, he wins the House votes. But anyway, that's a whole different.
It's unfortunate. Skinny, Skinny, you good?
Welcome, Skinny.
Skinny's gonna take a moment. Are we looking?
Oh,
is he looking for good hip hop?
I have no clue why you came in and just dropped out like that. That's hilarious.
Man, I don't know. I'm looking forward to the next thing. I want to see like the next
evolution of rap would be.
Yeah, I want to see something interesting. I want to see something interesting that isn't made to be mass marketed and mass produced so that it's just the most popular thing with the highest spins. But it's still good.
That's interesting.
Because that's what I'm saying.
I think the latest thing maybe might have been drill. Like the Brooklyn drill. I know there was a Chicago drill, which is older for sure, but the Brooklyn drill, I think, is the latest like form of rap to come out.
Because Drake right now and Kanye are essentially just like the Backstreet Boys from back in the day. It's just pop. The stuff they're releasing is
it's not unfair.
It's not an insult.
It's not an insult. you got the glasses. It's not an insult because that's one of the things people think that when you compare something to pop that you're insulting it. I think that making pop music
he's definitely a pop artist now.
Yeah, they're pop artists, and making pop music is not even easy. Like you have to figure out what the specific formula is for you as an artist. Then you have to get mass marketed and hope that the industry accepts you. And then, there's a lot of cheat codes and stuff like that, like using samples from stuff that's already recognizable so that people want to tune in. And we already know all the cheat codes.
It's pretty interesting that like pop obviously stands for popular music. So even it's almost like outside of a specific genre anyway.
Yes. 100%.
But we've come to associate a certain kind of music with pop though, which is weird.
Yeah.
Right? It should, so. Anyway.
And pop itself has a specific sound now. Like Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, what Christina and Britney were doing, what the Backstreet Boys, that specific, they were trying to do kind of this
radio friendly kid.
Yeah, but also like, because how would you describe a Britney Spears song? Like, what genre is Britney? Because pop stands for popular music, but there's a genre that her style is actually in. It's just that style is popular at the moment. So what would you say is Britney was doing? It was just ballad stuff.
Club dance?
Like it was just ballad.
Not even. Yeah, but that I guess it became its own genre, like you said. Like that, it became pop. I can really put. Yeah, there is a sound.
Yeah,
there's a sound.
Because this is a conversation we have at work all the time. Because all of us are music programmers. We're like 7 or 8 DJs, music programmers, electroacoustic sound engineers. Like it's a group of us on my team, and we constantly discuss like, because clients will ask us like, "Oh, we want the latest pop," and we're just like, "Okay, well, what does pop mean?" Because they'll be like, "Oh, give us pop from the 80s to today." Are you fucking like? Do you know how different pop is from the 80s to today? Like some of the pop from the 80s is Rick Rolling is a joke, but that was a pop song in the 80s.
Yeah,
you want me to put that on a playlist so that people walk into your store and think, "Oh, we got Rick Roll"? Like no, like there's certain things you can't just say I want pop. Whatever was pop in the 80s, whatever was pop in the 90s is so different.
Different.
So it starts these really interesting conversations on my team about like, well, what do we think these people mean? And ultimately we all know they mean whatever the next generation of that sound is, whatever
that was on the top 100 on the radio.
Yeah, right now it's Billie Eilish, but even Billie Eilish herself has stepped away from her own pop sound.
Oh, she sucks. Oh my god. I mean, she's hard. She'll have some sounds, but I don't.
But like, do you guys find there's actually a wave of vocalists today that have that same airy vocal? Like it's become a thing too to sing like that.
Yeah. 100%.
And the most annoying part is when it comes
I think Lorde might have been the most popular one to do it initially.
Who?
But even then she was singing. Never mind. Lorde was actually
the video
singing.
games girl?
Oh shit.
Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
That's one of the kids who's don't get me wrong. She's not pop though. Lana Del Rey was doing what was an attempt at pop, like
was she doing dream pop? Because dream pop is a thing, right?
That's it.
Was she dream pop initially? Okay, that's different.
Sound.
That's different.
Yeah. She was doing an emo dream pop too, because the songs were like dreamy but depressing.
Okay. A lot of dream pop songs have that like.
Well, they have like the minor key.
They're all in minor keys, exactly, for the most part. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So did I not get the memo about glasses day today or some shit?
I mean, I always wear these.
No, you don't. So, don't do that.
He often wears glasses.
I often wear them.
He wears.
The curveball is Toby. I didn't know Toby owned a pair of glasses.
So here's the thing. All right. You know how with work you get this insurance thing, and you can spend a certain amount on glasses.
Oh yeah.
Did you just buy expensive glasses?
Hold on. Let me finish the story. There is a purpose. I had a feeling.
Let me tell you. Let me set a story and hit
exactly. All right. So now, as you were just saying, most people would just do that. They just go and get a crappy prescription and then just spend, the $400 and get glasses and look cool with it, non-prescription.
Mm-hmm.
So 2-3 years ago now, I decided to go. I'm like, you know what? After all these years, I might as well just go to, see if I can get some cool glasses, prescription or not. Try it out too. I get there, they do the whole eye exam. They put that solution in your eye where you're blind for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was the worst. And then I got the prescription, and I read the numbers with my crazy optometrist skills that I've been doing for 10 years. Anyway, I saw the numbers and they were super low. So I was like, oh, I guess I don't really need a prescription. Like, I just kind of like left it. I was like, oh, I don't need glasses. I could just do this anytime. Fast forward to a month ago.
Your vision.
We decide to walk into the store, and I gave them, like, you know what? Oh, these look really nice. Let me try it out. The guy's like, you have a prescription? I was like, oh, you know what? I actually got one 3 years ago. Let me check my email. I gave it to him. He looks at it and he goes, you've never filled these?
Yeah, exactly. Your eyes are probably.
And I was like, nah, I have good vision, perfect vision. Like, it's fine. The only thing is, like, my eyes are sensitive when it's sunny and like it's blurry a bit. He's like, I love
that. My only problem is my eyes are sensitive to light. No,
you know, but like sensitive to light. I thought it was a normal thing. You're sensitive to the sun. No. It's bright. Come to find
your
out,
eyes are blue.
Fucking Avatar alien
right?
eyes.
So here. It's so funny because I told my girlfriend we were talking about this too, and she's like, she says her eyes are sensitive. Her eyes are like bluish green.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, mine too. But she's like, why would your eyes be super sensitive? Like, the darker the pigment, the less sensitive it is. I was like, oh, it's just always been like that. So that's a conversation I've had. And then it turns out I have astigmatism in my right eye, like the most extreme form of it. And also, like, I do have prescriptions. So I have literally needed glasses
for like 3 years.
For longer.
Majority of your life. You fucking
for a long time, man. Holy
You're funny.
shit.
Like, now you have to wear them all the time?
I put them on, and I was like,
yeah.
And I was like, wait a second. Why does everything look HD, like 4K?
Yes, dude, that's what we Yo, so I've told you guys my story with my dad.
Yo, you drove like that, Toby.
Yo, I drove, bro. Okay, before you go on your story.
Toby,
that whole day I got my glasses and put them on. Driving, I was like, why do the cars look so much closer? Everything looked
it's really
bigger and closer. And I was like, holy shit.
I've been checking my blind spot like an ass.
It's crazy. Hey, knock on wood, but no accidents to this day, though. But that's crazy.
That's wow.
Crazy.
Wood.
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, so this was a revelation. I'm like, now I haven't been to the movies since I got these, but I'm like, yo.
Oh, shit.
Now I really I need to go to an IMAX.
Toby's going to see old shit.
Yeah, he's like testing out new
I'll
eyes.
go back to see Shang-Chi just now, just to see this.
That's the exact same story I have. I went with my ex when she got laser eye surgery. I used to wear glasses. I went with my ex. The guy tested my eyes, and he's just actually funny enough. No, the story's a little reversed, but it comes back around. I got my eyes tested. The guy's just like, hey, man, your prescription's really low. You're like 0.25. You're like 0.25 in one eye and 0.75 in the other eye. But you have an astigmatism. And I'm just like, oh. He's just like, I don't think you have to wear these glasses. You definitely can't get laser eye surgery, but you don't need to wear the glasses. Try not wearing the glasses for like a week and seeing how your eyes are. So I took the glasses off, and I've never worn the glasses again. However, I know for a fact now, as I'm older, because this was 2010, 2011. It's been 10 years. I know for a fact when I go back, they're going to be like, homie, you need glasses. Like when I stand 100%. In my living room and I look at the clock on the stove, I try and see how close I have to get before it clears up. And at some points, I'm in the kitchen.
Wait, you're nearsighted?
No, it's distance. Yeah.
Okay,
like like so, but it's an LED screen, right? So it's just a little screen. It's 4 digits. I could kind of make out that it's 425.
But there's a lot of hues, and it makes it hard to see. Yeah,
exactly.
No, you're supposed to see that shit.
I'm not actually seeing 425. My brain is filling in like that looks like a 4, that looks like a 2, that looks like a 5, could be a 6. You're still good. And that's where I'm at right now.
Crazy. Yo, dude, I tell you, all day, I still didn't believe it, right? So I give it to Paige at the end of the day. We're watching a show. I was like, put these on. Like, and she puts it on. She's like, these are blurry. I was like, oh my God, I need glasses.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hey man, this is what happens when we get older. I just like that.
Yeah.
I just enjoy.
You're making me nervous now. Now I want to go get an eye exam.
Just go get it tested. You
Get an
never
eye
know,
exam.
man.
I'm not trying. We're not trying to play you. Like, yo, anyone listening to us right now, if you wear glasses and haven't gotten your prescription updated in like 5-6 years, go get an eye exam. Real talk.
Yeah.
You should just do it.
It's true,
like,
man. Yo, I don't know what to say. Like, I literally see so much clearer.
The world will be clearer. There are
It's
times when I
crazy.
drive at night and I'm just like, this is probably not the best. When there's like, you know, when you're driving down a street that has like no lights and you just have the headlights, and I can see everything, but I'm like,
yo,
I would
it's
prefer,
hard to see.
Yeah, I would prefer if there were more lights on this street.
Yeah,
but I'm
100%.
okay.
Yeah.
But with glasses, I'd probably be like, I'm good. I won't have to
Just
worry.
out here like Daredevil, relying on your instincts when it comes to the
it's
dark.
sonic sounds and hope for the best. Making click sounds when you guys want to see.
Yo, it literally is the same thing you described. Like I haven't driven at night with these yet. I can't wait to see like what that looks like. But
it's gonna blow your mind because you're gonna see colors driving with.
You're gonna be all
yo. No joke though, Toby. When you do it,
I'll be like, were these lines always visible?
Oh my god.
Toby, real quick though, the first time you do it, if you're driving downtown, go slow because the shock of how bright and how like more vibrant everything is downtown when you're driving.
Oh my goodness.
Freaks me out the first time. I was like, no. People standing on the curb about to jump into the street to cross on a red. I used to think like, nah, they'll be fine. Now I'm like, oh, y'all are like, I almost clipped you.
I'm close to you. Wow, bro.
Oh my god.
All those looks I was getting by people crossing was
Mr. Magoo style. Just like,
wow. No, honestly, just seeing how much closer things are, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. This is nuts. This is nuts. It's almost like, should I even be wearing these all the time? Like, this is almost too perfect. Am I making my eyes worse when I wear these more often? Is that a thing?
I know. So there's two theories. There's one theory that your eyes, if you wear your glasses all the time, your eyes get lazier because the lens is helping focus everything.
It's doing all the work.
Much. Yeah.
I don't squint as much as I used to.
Yeah. But there's another theory that if you don't wear the glasses, your eyes degrade faster because you're overdoing it with your eyes.
Okay.
Because you're like you're saying, you're constantly squinting, you're constantly trying to, so the eyes get damaged from just like, I don't know. There's two theories that I've heard. I don't know which one is more accurate. I should probably talk to an ophthalmologist and get that actual information.
I personally use the ghetto eye test, which was when I took the bus, if it was far down the street and I could read that 195 Sherbrooke, I'm golden.
Facts.
If I could see that 105 on dome,
yo, facts.
Are you actually reading it, or you know how sometimes from a distance
exactly.
you can tell just how like by the amount of characters, which bus it is, right?
You know
that? Yeah, I don't know.
You know what though? Because in Uptown the test was better because I get what you're saying, Toby, but the 165 and the 166 both run on the same line, and when they were writing Côte de Neige or Queen Mary, Chemin Queen Mary, they kind of look the same. So that test, because it's true, as soon as you said it, I remembered what you're thinking. That test is legit because if you're standing on if you're all the way over by Queen Mary and Côte de Neige, like a couple blocks back where they're both still on the line, and you look as it's coming down the whatever
from
Côte
the
de Neige
subway?
Let's take that side. I was thinking somewhere else, but yeah, that's a perfect example. When you'd look, you'd see it and you'd be like, I think that says 166. And then the ghetto test was just like, no, that is the 166. And then you'd be like, yep, my eyes are still working. I'm good.
That's funny.
Real. I've had multiple times I've had to do that. And that's kind of crazy that you're.
Until you get too cocky. And then one time I wasn't paying attention.
Got on the wrong bus?
Oh boy, did I ever. Listen, so like I got to take I used to have to take the 496.
You only look at it once from a distance and you're like,
you don't even care. You're like, that's the bus. It's the right time. So they're like,
I don't need to look at it again. I've never seen this bus driver in my life, but hey.
So I get on this bus. 496 goes straight down Victoria. It takes you to LG. 495 goes all through LaSalle, the worst way, and then takes you to Angrion. So I'm on the 495, thinking it's the 496, and it's basically the same route except for one turns on 32nd Avenue. Boy, when that bus turned on 32nd Avenue, I was like, nigga. I got off, ran off that shit. I had to run down, think back. I was like, ding, 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 like and then you know those bus drivers that disable the bell because they're assholes. So you're pulling and then the shit don't work. Listen, anyways,
Yo, it's funny that you tell a story. When I was 16, that's how I met one of my girlfriends. We were taking, so she got on my bus, the 166 that I used to take to get to my spot. The 51 runs along Queen Mary, but she needed to take the 51 to go back to DG. So when we're on the 166 and the bus is about to turn, she starts freaking out. She's like, "Where's the bus going?" I'm like, "Oh, I think you're on the wrong bus." She's just like, "I need to get off." She starts freaking out at the bus driver. The bus driver is like, "Calm down, ma'am." So I tell her like, "Yo, it's all good. It's just one block back." Got off the bus with her, walked her back to the 51 stop, waited with her, got her digits, and then started dating her.
Quagmire.
That's how you did it back in the day, though.
Cheers.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you say something, Skinny? You cut out.
I think he's cutting out right now.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
Damn. But yeah, that's pretty much. I just spoke to her. It was, and she was cute as fuck. Her parents are crazy though. Her parents moved her to the country when Y2K came because they were afraid that the economy and the world were going to shut down.
Hey, that's not crazy. That just means they're prepared, man.
Oh God. Yeah.
there's a whole crew of there's a name for them.
Preppers or something like that. Where is doomsday preppers or some shit?
Doomsday preppers. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I guess her parents were, because they ended up moving her out to the country, and then when she left, she came back a good couple years later, and then we got in contact again, and she hated being in the city at that point because she'd gotten so accustomed to living in like middle of nowhere, small town, telling me about how like, yeah, I used to walk down a road to get to my school, like on the side of I was like, girl, this sounds like some crazy bullshit. Like
those small towns.
Yo, I'm such a city kid. Like hearing someone talk about like, yeah, I walked on a road to get to school. I'm like, bitch, no, I need a bus. Get my ass on a bus so I can make fun of some shit with my friends. Not about this life where we're just gonna walk down empty roads, no lights at night. Next thing you know, some crazy person trying to fucking kidnap me. Get the fuck out of here. Crazy.
Those jokes. Back in the day, that was okay though. Today, I don't know if anyone would be willing to let their kid roam alone. It's gotten crazy out there, man. Gotten real crazy out there.
Trailers.
This guy just say, if you can see the Hawkeye, if you can see that Hawkeye looks like shit, then I'd say your eyes are pretty good.
That's a good one, Jake.
Oh, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. The Hawkeye
so wait,
trailer.
Hold on. I'll ask this to the people listening. Did you ever read the Matt Fraction run of Hawkeye, where Hawkeye, Clint Barton, and Kate Bishop team up and live together and have Pizza Dog and like everything that the show is based on? Have you read that? Because if you haven't read it, this comic is probably going to look like shit. This show is going to look like shit to you. If you've read the comic, it doesn't look like shit because it looks like they did a very good job in the trailer of recreating a lot of those scenes. So as someone who's read the comic, my eyesight is 20/20 on they did a good job of recreating the trailer to make it look like they actually did the comic.
It's honestly, it's exactly what I saw in this book as well. It's the same thing.
Exactly. If you read this comic, the show is going
Hawkeye,
to be
My Life as a Weapon.
I'll say this, as someone who has not read that, and as someone who does not like Hawkeye that much via the comic books,
already
this actually doesn't look like a bad show.
Oh, there
I think the show looks very entertaining. It looks like it could have a very good, solid story arc.
Yeah,
looks like it has a very different pacing than anything we've seen so far in terms of the TV shows.
Yeah,
doesn't look as corny as Falcon and Winter Soldier. And doesn't look as serious as WandaVision or Loki either, right? It kind of has this movie feel to it, which is interesting.
And you've read the comic, so you know the whole vibe of the comic is ridiculous, jokey, like
and it looks like they're literally staying true to that.
Yeah, if Madame Mask shows up, like I know she shows up way later because she's not in volume 1, right? Is she in volume 2 maybe? Anyways,
Volume 2, I think. Yeah.
if she shows up in the show though, or they show a nod to her, then I'm gonna be real fucking excited, because that's a character that I feel they don't ever like. Obviously, she hasn't been introduced yet, but when it comes to live action, I've never really thought of them trying to do that character. But I've been interested in seeing what it looks like, and I'd be down. I kind of want to see it.
I'm curious to see the interaction between Hawkeye and his daughter. Like I in the sense of like they already looked in the commercial to be like pretty vibing off of each other. So I'm curious to see how that like dynamic duel is gonna like get the attention. You know, like
his daughter or Kate Bishop.
Well, sorry. I didn't mean the. I thought it was his daughter. Same thing. Sorry, Kate. That's how much I don't know. That's how much I don't know. That's how much I don't know. No, but Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, whatever you want to call it, like they're how they were playing off each other in the commercials. I was like, this looks a lot more interesting or appealing compared to like, let's say the buddy of Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like a little more natural.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. More natural.
If Falcon and the Winter Soldier is supposed to be a more serious buddy cop / spy story, Hawkeye is going to be the comedic take on that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm seeing, I would say Hawkeye would be like a, I don't know, not lethal weapon, but loaded weapon, where it's like, we're just making fun of this whole thing. I don't think they'll go that far. It's
you
not
know what
be
I hated about it for some reason? It gave me Die Hard vibes. I don't know why.
It did.
Just
it's the songs they
weird,
used,
right? Yeah, it was.
It was the songs and they use, and like there was like a couple of scenes that like the flow of like the scene was very Die Hard.
Yeah.
In it.
Yeah, it was, right? Yeah, okay. So it wasn't just me. But I think it had to do with the music for sure.
Yeah.
The songs.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm interested.
It looks good to me, man. It looks better than Falcon already, just based off the trailer. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Also,
it looks
at this
great.
point, let's just acknowledge Marvel has not failed.
True. So far, they've had subpar performances.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But they haven't.
Listen.
Failed.
Yeah. They've had 5.5s on 10.
Right.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, if you pass by 100% or you pass by 60%, you still pass, right? So I think that's exactly. Yeah, that's what I would say about Marvel.
And we all know what failures look like. So
I mean, we have plenty. CW.
DC doesn't even just look like failure. DC smells like failure. Every time I smell a DC comic now, I'm just like, smells like waste.
Oh, that's rough. The comic books and the animated aren't so bad.
Waste.
Grizz needs to stop talking about my favorite superhero like that. You need to chill out on Hawkeye, all right? Any man that can make an elite superhero team by shooting fucking bow and arrows is a gangster. Shut up, all right? Don't shit on Hawkeye. I didn't even read the comic, and I know that issue 3 is just a car chase. Y'all niggas need to stop, all right? I'm trying to buy that shit off Amazon right now, and guess what sold out? That comic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So people
Matt Fraction worked on Iron Man. He did some of the most insane stuff with Iron Man. He's worked on so many comics that if you guys are looking for, I always say Mark Millar is easily one of my favorite comic book writers. I've talked about Greg Pak in the past. There's like a whole bunch of them. Matt Fraction is easily on par with those guys. If you're looking for someone that you're just going to start reading titles at random because they wrote it, read Fraction stuff. Steve McNiven, Fraction,
he's got a natural flow to his writing. Like I was just talking about that with the show. It actually looks like they literally copy pasted just the pace.
Yeah.
And the way the characters kind of interact kind of feels natural and not forced. And sometimes, when you're reading a comic, you're like, oh, why did he say that there? Kind of like those, like you don't have those moments reading a Matt Fraction novel.
But all y'all read it, or at least Toby and Brian. Y'all think they're gonna bust out Kingpin?
I don't.
So that is one of the theories that's out there right now.
Yeah, you were saying. Yeah, you said that was it last week? You said it,
or the week before? I remember when I said it, but I did mention it. And I think if you were to introduce him in the Marvel universe, this is the hero to do it with.
Yeah,
if you're like, he's the most street level so far. Everyone else so far has gone to the galaxy and beyond in the Marvel universe, right? So this would be the guy to do it with, in my opinion.
All right, Grizz,
your Kingpin would fit in right in this world too. Also, I don't know. Yeah. They might rewrite him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he'll be the same. Yeah.
Oof.
I don't know if I want him to be because he's brutal, bro, in Daredevil and Punisher.
Yeah, but that's
he should.
That's
do you think that fits?
Yeah, man, come on. Remember Kingpin in the '94 Spider-Man cartoon
When he
for
would
sure.
fight random dudes just to make sure he's strong still?
Right?
He would beat up 4
That's
men
true.
just to be
I
like,
guess-
okay, workout.
Yeah, the
I
only
guess
reason
sorry. What I was saying is that like it can't be R-rated, and I love that about the shows, right? It was very like
True.
graphic.
Disney will never
Whereas
go R-rated.
now they're gonna
You're right.
tone him down, and it might not feel like the same Kingpin.
I don't want him then. Forget it. I
I mean, Disney's done some hardcore things with certain villains. They just don't necessarily show it or film it in the same way. So he might bust your head in a door, but you just won't see the whole blood
They'll cut
and
away.
cracking. Yeah, they'll cut away
Yeah.
and you'll hear it. But yeah, Disney
But
they have their
it's
way
not
of
the
filming.
same effect. Remember the
No.
guy's head in the door?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Seeing
saying.
that and like
Netflix was just like, guys, we are not fucking around. Like, if you guys thought we were fucking around, smash.
Yeah, but Netflix also
it-
had the CW to go up against before that. Like it was 2014. There was nothing like they could do whatever the fuck they want.
True.
Which is now like,
That's a good point. That's a good point. They had the
Yeah, but-
competition wasn't there, so they barely had to try to be better.
right.
But one thing Disney might have to do eventually, if they're gonna, because they have a lot of properties that, you know, if you're gonna do a movie about this person, it has to be darker. Perfect example is Wolverine. If they ever decide to revive Wolverine, you can't have him like not cutting into people and stuff. You know?
He
like,
will, but he won't get his own movie because they did that 3 times.
Hmm.
They're not going to.
No, I'm just giving an example of Wolverine.
Yeah, I feel
mean,
you. I feel you,
plenty.
but
Like already Moon Knight, like that's the, if anything, I feel like Moon Knight should be the show that is like,
Dave.
fuck
But we
you
haven't
guys,
seen
yes,
it
here's
yet.
blood and dust.
we haven't.
No,
seen
I
it
know.
yet.
I think it will be.
Dave's right.
That's the
Moon
movie
Knight
to be
is
in.
the character that in the comic books, dude, that's a
There's
character.
there's no going
it was
back
just
from that
blood
one.
splatter. Like, it's just, yeah. How
I'm
do you?
curious.
Like,
I'm
how are you gonna
curious
do it?
if okay,
I
so
didn't
that's the
think about
thing.
that. I didn't think
So
about
I don't know if I want Kingpin yet then
Oh,
until I
I'm so
see
scared.
how they translate Moon Knight to the TV show.
Because one
Yeah.
thing I always have to say though, like
Yeah.
one thing Disney could easily do is brand themselves as anything that comes out Disney is PG. Now
Right.
we're making it official. Anything underneath Marvel can be
Guys,
anything.
They're not
we
going to-
literally saw a U.S. agent chop a nigga's head off with his shield, and you saw the blood. Guys,
Yeah,
That
Yeah,
could
but it has
guys.
to be that all the
Yeah, but-
time.
yeah.
that was just a preview.
So
It's
skinny,
like Deadpool 3, you know?
skinny, 5 points. That 100%. You're right.
He literally did that, and you
Yeah.
see the blood drip.
And he
Guys.
pulls up, and yeah. So they're willing to go the distance. I get what you're saying. I do understand what Dave is saying, though.
I
That
feel Dave 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because when Moon Knight in the comic book fights people and like breaks arms, pops like blood squirts out or something like that, like we're talking Titan style, like blood and like goes a little over the top to the point where you're just like, I don't think you need to do that, Matt Fraction. Like Spectre, you didn't have to break that man's arm.
It's
And
like
make-
Joe Pesci in a casino or whatever, and he takes the pen and just like stabs
Oh,
someone to
yeah.
death. Like you're like, you know,
Yo,
that's
You
what we're
didn't
talking
have-
how
about.
did they
You
ever
chose
how did
to.
they ever let US Agent off the hook? Now that I even think about it. Like he did that in front of a crowd of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's also blonde hair,
There's
blue
no
eyes.
Oh,
that
Yeah,
pardon
but-
isn't
No.
that pardon is insane.
Yeah, but
That's-
remember, you know what it is. They're gonna say he was acting in the best interest of the American people as a soldier, but the United States disavows the actions of murder. So he's not gonna get arrested or charged for murder because he was acting as a soldier, but he did excessive force, so he lost his title.
Dishonorable.
That's all they do in the military.
Dishonorable discharge.
Yeah, in the military, when you like,
That's
that's the
deep.
thing. I don't know about you guys, but if you heard about how the Canadian armed forces, with all this stuff going on, and generals are being let go because of misconduct and stuff like that. Yeah, these people are breaking laws and are just being let go. They're not being arrested or charged.
And then they'll go and get a security job somewhere else.
Exactly.
What's your previous experience? Oh, 10 years as a soldier. You rose the ranks and you know how to lead men into battle. Cool. We're gonna just hire you to watch this, Facebook firm. Like hire a bunch of guys, put some guards, and make sure no one ever breaks in here to
What do
steal
you
our.
even better than that? Black Ops, nigga. What do you mean? They were
True,
just,
true. That's another thing.
True.
You did dishonorable shit. Come over this side.
Yeah, sure.
100%, 100%
Revolving
army
doors,
has their
like-
own like There's definitely
True.
an army version of the Suicide Squad.
If you don't want your
100%.
general
Yeah.
dancing, if you don't want your
I
sergeant
believe that.
dancing all in the video and shit, come to death row.
Oh wow, that's great.
Jesus.
Oh fuck.
That's great.
That's a crazy idea that Toby just spit out, like a suicide army version of a Suicide Squad.
100%. They're called mercenaries, guys.
The Expendables is pretty much based off of that.
I was gonna say it's like the losers, the comic book losers with the Expendables. Like it's just these kind of black ops teams, but at the same time, they're also, if you don't go
they're
through
questionable
mission,
personalities.
yeah, we're gonna blow your head off, like Waller's gonna do.
We might just erase your family before you get home. I don't know.
But you know what? Usually what happens is I'm talking like I know the truth, but usually what happens.
By the way, people, we don't know about Black Ops. This is just some crazy ass thing. We're such a big as saying on a podcast.
Yeah. We don't know anything about Black Ops.
Yeah, because the files and the records, they're classified and sealed. They can deny that you were ever a part of anything.
Oh yeah.
And
they deny your existence, bro.
Yes,
exactly.
They can deny your existence.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ben who?
They'll be like, this guy. He said he was an American citizen. We don't have that guy on the list. What are you talking
He
about?
said his name was Ben Stein. No, actually, he looks like his name is Omar, and they have a whole new identity for
Here's our
from
note
Canada.
and he looks like he has some arrest warrants out for him. It's okay. You guys we don't want him.
He's got a long rap sheet. Check this out. What
Imagine he's actually caught, and then like this guy Ben's walking like Oscar. What?
Hold on. Jake Grizz just asked a question that don't you think at some point they're going to have to go rated R? Some of the best comics I've read had blood, guts, and ass everywhere. Some characters just can't be watered down. I actually had this conversation with one of my buddies the other day that I said at some point I do believe Disney will push the envelope, and either Disney will push the envelope themselves or will full on merge with Hulu and just make Hulu a proper part of Disney Plus that you get. You don't have to do a bundle. They'll just be a part of it. And the R-rated content will be under, like in Canada. Well, yeah, Canada and all the other places around the world. Star, which is the other brand where they put their Hulu and possibly other content, is where they put their rated R content.
They'll put all the smart there. Yeah. Alien vs. Predator is on Disney Plus and shit. Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, AVP is there, and you're like, that's not so Disney, but okay.
Yeah, Stars is. I mean, Stars seems interesting as a model of, because Disney is very smart at this. Disney creates buffers for themselves. Is it Touchstone's Pictures that they used to be theirs?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like, we made this movie under Touchstone. It's not actually Disney property. And then when eventually, if they want it to be a Disney property, they'll just rebrand it. Nightmare Before Christmas, perfect example. Nightmare Before Christmas was never a Disney product. They only decided to make it Disney when they were just like, actually, we kind of like this and it's cool for kids. Slap Disney on the front now. And that's
word is making money. Let's just grab it.
Yeah, exactly. They just change it. They just put Disney on top of it. So Disney decides what they want to do when they want to do it, and depending on how much money they make from it. And that's the biggest thing. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. They're smart little bastards. The House of Mouse.
They'll know how to squeeze the juice from the fruit. That's for sure. You know?
My god, seriously.
We know that's gonna happen.
All of it.
The Simpsons is another example. I think they need to fucking shut that down. But
isn't that ending?
No, they like renewed it for
never mind. I think it's Sesame Street or something that's ending.
No,
it's Arthur. Sorry,
Arthur. Yeah.
Oh. So I'm
really? Are there something that's funny?
Did you guys get to see the trailer for Matrix Resurrection?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I am a little concerned because I've mentioned this to you guys, and I'll say it here. I'm very much getting the Force Awakens vibes, in the sense that the Force Awakens was, hey, you know how we did this story in A New Hope? Yeah. Okay, let's just do that story, but better. And then it wasn't necessarily better. It was just newer. And that's the thing. And I'm really concerned that what I saw in that trailer is Matrix, but better. And it's like, no, that's just Matrix, but newer. And I don't know. I don't know how
I feel like as long as they make it a real continuation of the story, they're going to be fine. Because like one thing
already not though. because the third movie led into the video game, and the video game was canon, and this is not taking into consideration the things that happened in the video game.
Which specific video game?
There was an like MMO multi online player game that came out, Matrix video game.
Because if you're telling me this isn't part of the original franchise, then I'm excessively concerned about what you're talking about. But but I'm saying if this continues after the other franchise, like obviously there's gonna have similar tropes in the sense like they're gonna have to be woken again. But if they like get their memory back and realize, oh shit, like we can now save, like we could fix what we couldn't fix before and like continue the story, I'm fine with it. The only thing I've gotten some people have complained about is like they do a lot of tropes where there's a lot of action scenes or movements that are similar to that of the first films, and I'm like, yeah, but like it's not as long as it's not like Airplane and Airplane 1, I don't care if you do homage to the original film.
It looks like from everything I'm seeing here, it looks like it is a sequel to Revolutions, though. I don't know how they're going to tie it in. I guess they are ignoring whatever happened outside of the movie world.
Well, like what happened? What can you sum what happened in that video game, Doc? Do you know by chance?
From what I understand, Lawrence Fishburne's character Morpheus dies,
which he's not in this movie. So far, that
he is in this movie.
But he is Morpheus. It's a younger version of Morpheus, apparently. Now, why that is and how that is, like, I think they have to.
He said his name was Morpheus.
Yeah, he's acknowledged.
He posted on his Instagram and said Morpheus under his.
Yeah, but for all you know, it's Morpheus Jr.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm just calling. I'm calling it now. Maybe it's Morpheus Jr.
If I'm an actor and I've been cast in a movie and there's a character who was in the previous movie called Morpheus, why would I post my picture and write Morpheus under my?
Because I'm gonna want to get people clickbait, and I'm gonna want people to go see the movie to make sure that it happens.
That's too much. People might come out hating him if that's not the case.
Don't do what the girl Tatiana did for She-Hulk.
I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. I'm telling you right now. I'm going on the IM right now.
I'm telling you, dude. But all this to say, from what people are saying, I found an article.
It just says Morpheus. It just says Morpheus, not Morpheus Jr. If it becomes Morpheus Jr. in the film, though, you know I'm going to be fucking laughing.
Here's a statement here that I just. Dave. I don't know. The film's press release stated that The Matrix Resurrections is a direct sequel to the story established in the first film. So that definitely could lead to some confusion.
Yeah. In the
alternate reality?
Film, yeah. Okay, so I've heard that theory. I've heard people say, what if it's an alternate reality? Because
it's possible. It is the Matrix. Like they can build whatever kind of
exactly. They can make whatever loophole they want.
Because actually, there's a scene in the trailer where it's not him in the mirror.
Yeah.
You guys notice that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Dave.
Yo,
which part?
Dave's like, wait a second.
There's a part where he looks at himself in the mirror, and it's like an old. It's an
older version of himself. Yeah.
No,
I don't know if it's him.
It's an old guy. Like it doesn't even look like him.
Oh, I thought when I saw it. I mean, I didn't rewatch it, but when I saw it, I just assumed that it was him in the foreshadowing of him.
One of the theories is that this is another Matrix. That another the one. Because remember, they tell you the Matrix is a cycle that just keeps repeating. You have to take 24 men and 16 women or something to start back, and Zion's going to be destroyed, blah, 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 blah. And then what some people are saying is this movie is just taking place in a new Matrix that they've created, and it's just the story of the Matrix again, which would make sense.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying we watched one of the loops, that loop ended, and they restarted the loop, but it just so happens that Neo is still in the programming code, which could make perfect sense because that's what happened.
Exactly. And in this reality, Morpheus found him earlier. That's why he's still young.
I'm going to throw the 3 right now. Yeah. Wait, Toby, you go.
No, that's really all I had.
The 3 that I'm throwing, Trinity is the one in this bullshit.
Right?
And then I'm done. And then I'm out. Fuck this movie.
Really? No.
Yeah, because at one point when Trinity does that thing and goes and like the whole world
vibrates. Yeah, come on, bro.
Because Trinity and Neo both know how to manipulate the Matrix, right?
They were connected in that way.
They were connected, but she was in the other one. She was dependent on him to do things.
No, she did
You
things.
think it's the
She
opposite
did.
this
She
time around?
manipulated, but not at all to the
not
level
to
of.
this level. Yeah, but okay, so that's what I'm saying. Imagine
Like
now,
so did Morpheus technically.
right?
Yeah,
but that's what I'm
Morpheus did
saying.
too.
Imagine now in another cycle with more experience, and they have to, and there's always because that's the anomaly, right? That the architect was explaining. There's always one. We're just seeing a cycle where Trinity.
The more you talk, the more I hear Star Wars.
Force Awakens vibe, baby. I said it.
No.
When I saw this trailer, I said this is Force Awakens vibes. Everything we saw in Force Awakens, where they're
One's
just
more
redoing the story.
sensitive than the other, but they're
Put it this way.
connected. And like, which one is the one? Which one is gonna? Oh god!
In this version, Keanu Reeves is John Boyega holding the lightsaber. You know it's straight up.
Oh wow!
Yeah. You see that now? Yeah, that's
it.
John Boyega. Keanu Reeves is John Boyega holding the lightsaber.
We don't need to watch this movie. We already know what happens. We don't need to.
Whoa!
They faked us out. You're like, oh my gosh, Neo's back. Actually, Trinity.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's perfect.
I
Dude,
don't even know what to think right now.
Considering the Wachowskis no longer brothers, considering how their transformation, considering all that and all the innuendos they put in this movie, why would it not go from the one being a man to a woman? Stop that.
It could be.
Stop that. Like it's right here.
I don't like that you're making sense. It's kind of scary.
I don't like that you're making sense right now.
That's it. That's the title. I don't like that you're making sense.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
It's not entirely impossible. That's like if there was that's a pretty realistic scenario. Dave, what do you think?
It's all theories till the movie comes out and we're right. Right? That's what it is. It's all theories till the movie comes out. Same way, same way we've been talking about Andrew and Toby coming into the movie. I keep telling y'all I don't believe it. You guys keep telling me, Brian, at this point you got to believe it.
I want it, but I don't
we'll
necessarily.
Find out.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Exactly.
It's all theories until the movie comes out. That's what it is.
That's crazy.
Morpheus Jr.
What do you even think about that now? Like, why'd you have to say that? Now I'm like in this weird, like, I don't know what to think next.
Hey man,
I've just hit a brick wall and I can't go any further.
Well, where else could they go? Really, like make Neo the one again? Then everyone's gonna explain and be mad. And
that it's actual the freedom. It's the real conclusion of the Matrix. This actual series is the real conclusion of the Matrix.
We'll see.
Wow.
I thought when I watched it, I was just like, what if this Matrix is just their kids? Like they're gonna bring the kids in. And I was like, please, Lord, don't do that. Like I was really worried that they were gonna like have children show up, not the kids, but like as adults. So and that's why. So your theory about Morpheus Jr., because a lot of people said this is obviously a Morpheus stand-in, and a lot of people thought, oh, he's probably Morpheus's son. I was concerned, but then when he said Morpheus, I was just like, okay, well, you're not Junior. You wouldn't call yourself Morpheus if you were Junior. You would have just said Junior. So I don't know, man. We're gonna see.
That depends. But I mean, like, do you mean other than Robert Downey Jr., any other juniors do you know? Do they keep the word Junior after their name? If I was Dave Jr., I wouldn't call myself Dave Jr. my whole
Freddie Prinze.
Yeah, a lot of people keep their Junior.
Yep. That's right. And
a lot of people drop it.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? Drop it.
I'm just fucking. I just want to keep reaching. It's fun reaching. It's just fun reaching.
The center court and being like, guys, it looked
like. Oh no,
I'm
in the stands.
You know the kid that shoots like this? That's Dave. Dave's the kid who shoots with the arm push off. That was great. I love that.
But still, fucking is butter from a distance still.
Right? It still gets it in. You don't know. The kid has no form of shooting, but somehow he gets it in. That's Dave right there.
Oh my God.
Damn.
That's funny.
That's great. That was I'm gonna have to go back and think on that one, man. You really gave me something to think about. That's deep.
We have a lot of movies coming out, man.
In deep?
This guy. He had to.
I can make dad jokes now.
I posted that one about the rabbit. That is like the most comments I've ever gotten back from people.
Yeah, I read that.
A priest, a pastor, and a rabbit walk into a blood drive. The nurse goes to the rabbit, "What's your blood type?" And he goes, "I'm probably type O." And it's just like, oh, the pun Like
Probably type O.
Type O.
Yeah, because it's
supposed to be a rabbi,
a pastor, and a rabbi. But because it's a priest, a pastor, and a rabbi,
no,
I'm probably type O. Dude, it's getting ducked out. But dude, I honestly, I even wrote at the bottom of the post, I was just like, I hate that I enjoyed this. Like, I was so mad at myself. I was so mad when I read it and I got the joke, and I was like, fuck you. Like, I was so mad at
myself. That is great.
I was like, no, I'm not happy that I like that. I'm not happy, but I posted it because I was just like, nah, everyone has to hate this shit too.
Everyone will suffer.
Yeah, no facts. I was like, you're all getting forced to see it.
Terrible. Word.
Yeah. What shows did we got? I have some shows. Guys, can I start off with one?
I just quickly before I bounce, I just want to tell everyone the Untold series on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Hey, listen, Danny watched the Palace Massacre at the Palace, right? But then I watched the one with the AJ Galante and the hockey team.
That's dope. That was a good one.
The mobster shit. Just watch Untold, please. Watch the show Untold Story. Watch it on Netflix.
That's a good
Super good. I didn't watch What If, so I'm gonna boogie. I didn't watch that, but at the same time, I'm sure it's pretty good. And yeah.
If you guys are doing like me and doing month to month for Netflix, this is actually going to be like next week would be a week to subscribe because Lock and Key comes out at the end of October. Lucifer just came out. The Untold series, I think, is pretty much done.
Yeah.
There's like a whole bunch of stuff that Netflix has coming for September, October. So if you want to, if you're looking for a run before they go into their cheesy Christmas stuff that they start adding, like October is a good time to jump back in. So I'm going to jump back in for the month of October. I'm probably going to sign up at the end of September. But yeah, I'll check it out, man, because people have been saying that's a good series.
Super funny.
Oh,
dope. Thanks as always, Skinny.
Always, you know, I'm around. I'll be lurking. You might just pop back in. You know, makes fun of some shit.
Man. As always.
Catch you later, big guy.
Guys, Escape Room, Tournament of Champions.
Dang, yo,
I don't want to hear it
in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even gonna. It's don't see it. That's it. I'm not even gonna,
all right, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, I can't.
By the way, I started it, and 10 minutes in, I could tell where it was at. I didn't finish it.
Yeah. So you know what really bothered me about it is, the original movie pretty much starts with the escape rooms, right? Like, I think the original movie starts in when the girl walks in, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna go.
The battery on this is like dying.
She like gets invited, and she's like, oh, I'm good. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna do these tests, and let's do this. I'm like, okay. So, you know, they go through the stages pretty quickly. They didn't have to speed anything up because they had time. The sequel has a whole bunch of exposition. They're trying to explain a lot of things. Who is the game master? Who is this person? Because they didn't do that in the first movie. In the first movie, they just put a bunch of people in a room and said, hey, not everyone's going to make it to the end. Cool. Let's see what happens. The second movie is just like, okay, so now that we've showed you how we kill people, we're going to explain why we're killing people and how we're going to try to, like how the bad guys are going to try and, how the good guys are going to try and stop the bad guys from killing people. Listen, I don't give a fuck about these people. That you didn't give me, you have given me absolutely no reason to care if the star and the dumb idiot who's following her around like a puppy dog survive. I don't care. You didn't make them interesting characters. You didn't make them worth watching. You just kind of made it that this girl is somewhat of a savant and can figure out any puzzle. And then you made the guy the bonehead who follows her around, who knows he's not intelligent enough to survive this stuff twice. And then that's the movie. That's what you're watching.
That sounds kind of boring.
Oh, dude. I got to the end and I was just like, so they didn't have enough time to make the puzzles super interesting. They like some of the ways that people die was just like, well, that's just stupid. Sometimes they didn't even actually figure out the puzzles. One of the characters was just kind of crazy and was just like, you know, like one of the puzzles was it's tic-tac, not a tic-tac, but like a chessboard on the floor. Okay. And you can only walk on certain blocks and they have to figure out which ones to walk on. And they start walking on them, and one of the guys just starts walking on them without knowing which ones to walk on. And he's like, I can figure this out. And he just keeps walking on them, and he walks on it purely blind faith. He's a Christian, and he just believes that God will guide him. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this movie anymore. Like when it got to that, and that wasn't
did
even.
he die or did he make it?
You have to watch it to see.
I don't want to. You're telling me not.
No, his dumbass dies.
Okay.
He doesn't die there, but he dies.
He doesn't. Oh, I meant specifically in that moment, but cool.
No, because in true movie fashion, they have to make you kind of hope that he makes it, because also Christianity is always going to be used as a tool to make it seem like you can do anything. So I knew as soon as he said he was Christian and he was a former priest that they weren't going to kill him as soon as he started talking about his faith, but they would kill him afterwards in some other way. But when he's relying on his faith to do things in these movies, nope. Because Christianity is too important. You can't have people out there thinking Christianity, what? And I'm not trying to say Christianity is bad. If you guys are Christian, live your best lives. I'm just saying that when it comes to the movies, Toby's trying to make a joke about Christianity, saying how they're all idiots. Damn, Toby, that's rude. You can't say that.
I was muted, so it's unfortunate, but no one will ever know now. But I do know people like that though in Christianity who are just super.
Right.
It's like the whole blind faith thing. So it's not an unbelievable premise, but it's still
No.
kind of like it's kind of a lazy.
It's cop out writing. It's lazy
Right.
a little bit.
Think about in the sense of a
unless you do it
thriller,
right, of course.
Yeah, in the sense of a thriller, you're just like, this guy is so devout that when he puts his faith in God, he doesn't die. But then when he eventually questions things or something else happens, that's when he dies. And you're just like, well, that's a trope. We've seen that trope. It's boring. Get to move on. Stop.
It also could just be a coincidence.
Yeah, because coincidence happen in horror movies. They're written. Someone wrote the movie. How's it a coincidence if you write the?
It's true,
Dave. It's coincidence. It was written by someone. Dave.
I'm gonna write this coincidence into it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You're silly.
Sometimes I wonder if that's how sometimes people write. They're like, I could get away with this. If someone asks me, I'll just say, well, life happens and it's a coincidence that happened in the story. It's like,
Jesus. Okay, Dave, you know what else is a coincidence? AEW CM Punk came back and everyone says it sucks. That's a coincidence because
who's everybody?
I don't know. I'm seeing online. I didn't see positive reviews for his return online.
Oh, really? I to be quite well, I'll say this. For the pay-per-view that it was on, it was a good pay-per-view overall. Okay. I think maybe some people, specifically for his match, I think people were probably just maybe expecting balls to the walls type stuff right away, like like
on for 7 years. You told me,
yeah, exactly. So like it's like imagine he used to be able to bench 300 pounds. They're expecting him to bench 300 pounds on the spot, but it's like no, like you gotta do a couple of reps first before you could put on like the all-star match that you used to do. You know what I mean? So overall, and I think it's also because back in the day he was maybe his style of fighting was fast-paced, where this was like more of a technical fight. No, I wouldn't say old man, but because he was still spry. It's just like there's matches that let's say they
Sting.
Huh?
Sting is spry still, right?
Yeah, that's not a fair comparison at all. It's like a 20-year gap. But all I'm saying is that
saying these people are old and should get out of the ring.
Hey man,
I did not say that at all.
Kudos to them though, because a lot of these guys are like walking with canes and still doing these moves.
You know what? Crazy. You know what? My ass couldn't do it. You're right. If I can't do it, I should shit on them. Go ahead.
But all I'll say is another thing is that apparently the match was based off of it was like an homage to a previous match from Bret Hart and 1-2-3 Kid or Sean Waltman or X-Pac from any fame that you might remember. And I think people were just disappointed about the tempo of the match. But it's like he's had matches like this before. It was an appropriate match for him to like get the ring rust. But something that was way more interesting that this week that happened, because although that was an extravagant pay-per-view, again, I enjoyed it thoroughly for 4 hours. For anyone who's a wrestling fan, it's one of those rare occasions where every match was good, if not like very, very entertaining. But one thing that was interesting this week, a bit history making, was on Raw. There was a guy. His name's Big E. He's a black wrestler, and he ended up cashing in his Money in the Bank contract, which is like a ladder match that whoever wins the match gets to like make like a match against any champion of their choosing at any time type thing.
Okay.
And he cashed it in on Bobby Lashley, who's also a black wrestler. And
you don't have to take a breath, buddy. No one's gonna get mad at you for saying black.
No, I know. It's because it's I don't know. I find it weird that it has to be history in the making, but it is history in the making. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be a
fair.
surprise. That's why I'm a little weirded out about it, kind of trying to explain it. But the point being is that they by cashing in the Money in the Bank and beating Bobby Lashley and becoming world champion, WWE title. He's now part of like there's only 6 men in history who have won that title that are black.
Oh, okay.
And the thing that's cool is that in the last 3 years, 3 different black men have worn the belt, in which case it's like, it's interesting to see that there's finally change happening in some parts of the industry. You know what I mean? And in doing so, like so it's not only did he make that a thing, he also made it this is the first time there was like a world heavyweight title match, apparently, that was 2 black wrestlers, and that there was an exchange. And it's also by him winning the match that he did win and then cashing in and winning, he also did that first as a black man. So it was just kind of an interesting foray. That's all.
Cool.
So, all that in like one match. So it's pretty cool.
I feel bad because there's 2 black men here who generally give no fucks about this.
Oh, yeah, because you guys don't like wrestling, but for anyone who likes wrestling, like, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to give tropes to the blurredness.
I'm not trying to downplay what you're talking about. I'm more disappointed in the fact that I wish I was more interested in this stuff, because what you're describing sounds important to the industry. I know that the history of wrestling has been predominantly white fronted. So these are very important moments in black wrestling history. And I think that's great. It's just that as you're saying it, all I'm thinking is, why are people still watching this stuff? And that's why I feel bad, because
some people enjoy the art form. It's a form of storytelling, Brian.
And I want to be excited for it. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, black wrestlers are like taking the crown. Black wrestlers are getting their shot. And kayfabe, it just means that in the back room, hopefully some of the writers are black too. That's why maybe that the black wrestlers are getting their chance, because let's acknowledge that there are writers. I know people get mad, but
it's the outcome is
it's a fact.
The ultimate outcome of the match is fake, but
but
the dancing between is made up on the spot.
Right. And the athletes are well trained and they do this for a living and they know what they're doing. And again, I can't do that shit. Respect to them for doing it. They're doing good work. I'm also not someone who could write the stories that they write. So to the people who are writing, and you're still writing something so entertaining that millions of people watch and pay for the pay-per-views and are still entertained, kudos to you guys too. I'm hoping that in the back room that there's more people of color, and hey, fingers crossed, also some women getting involved in this, because the writing rooms in wrestling are probably as white as a Montreal snowfall back in the day. And I'm hoping that changes. So that's it. That's what it is.
So anyways, it was just a shout out.
Toby. Is it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you stated that. All right. But I'm
not going to say anything.
But what if is something I do care about.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't watch today's episode, but I'm okay with you guys talking about it.
Man,
oh no, we can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
No, it's actually.
I saw up until after the press conference when Tony got saved and still remained a dick.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's the aftermath. That gets pretty deep.
Well, you know what?
That's okay.
Though?
Let's
I
talk
will
about
say,
it.
because I could talk about it without spoiling it.
Yeah.
They definitely, because they even make the joke in the episode, I wouldn't want to play chess against you. Claw says that to Killmonger at some point later in the episode, and that's not a spoiler. You knew you were going to see Claw because Andy Serkis's name is at the top as one of the voice actors. So, and Andy says to him, I don't ever want to play. I'm happy I don't ever play chess against you. Why? Because this entire episode is about what if Killmonger had essentially just been a better planner instead of being, instead of like going about things the way he went about it the last time, where he's like robbing places, trying to collect vibranium, doing all that stuff. They wrote in a situation where he goes way years earlier. Like you're talking Tony, Iron Man 1 meeting Killmonger and Killmonger planning some sort of move to reach his ultimate goal, the same goal that he always had in the movie, but to reach that ultimate goal as far back as in Iron Man 1, 2008. And that was super interesting to watch because the way he laid it out, the way like if you when you watch to the end and you start to think of like all the steps he took to get where he was and every angle he was playing, it was really good. My only complaint with the episode, why on earth was Shuri made to be a 10-year-old? It's
I know, right? Like that didn't make any sense to me.
Wait,
Like,
she was what?
Shuri in the episode is
she's younger.
Oh wait, I know why. That was stupid of me.
How?
She's younger because it's based in Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then why is T'Challa even Black Panther though?
Because T'Challa was Black Panther. T'Challa is 10 years. He's 10 years.
But not at that point in time. Not at Iron Man 1.
Well, we don't know that though. Why wouldn't he?
What do you mean? He gets it. He gets it after his dad.
No.
He was already Black Panther.
Yeah. Remember, his dad's an old man. He hasn't been Black Panther for years.
Remember his dad died in Civil War.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, his dad hadn't been. His dad. T'Challa had been Black Panther, but was not the king of Wakanda.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. No, sorry. I'm an idiot because why am I not thinking that a 6-year-old man can't do these things? Unless, well, I mean, I guess my brain is like maybe he had the power, but whatever.
If Sting can do it, so can
He's such an ass. He's just such an
ass. No, but you know what? It's true. I gotta actually mention that to my partner because when I was watching the episode at the end, I was so annoyed. I was just like, I really hate the fact that Shuri was a 10-year-old. And it's just like, no, dumbass. She would have been a 10-year-old. This is 10 years earlier. Actually, way longer. What year did Black Panther come out? Not even 10. It's like almost 12 years earlier.
Yeah.
So she would have been, instead of a teenager, she would have been a really young kid.
One thing that kind of annoyed me, like not that it annoys me, but it's just like I kind of question why, is like you have like certain notable people who did not lend out their voice to this series. Because like every time I watch an episode, I'm like, wow, I'm really impressed by how many people are giving their voices. But it's like it's essentially it's Downey, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, and Tom Holland. And all I have to say about that is like, it's kind of a bit discouraging, a bit for shame, because like, no offense, with the exception of Scarlett Johansson, this kind of made most of your careers or fixed most of your careers, these movies.
Yeah. It might be their schedules.
It might be. I agree, but like, they're actors though. Like it's a day's work.
I mean, I won't claim to know how long it takes them to record these, but I do agree with you. It did suck that I didn't hear Robert Downey Jr.'s voice doing Iron Man. Like, I would have been like, why couldn't you? Do we know for a fact that it was Michael B. Jordan who did Killmonger? It was.
I paused the episode at one point because I'm like, I want to see all the people because I couldn't. Yeah, I forgot to read the names at the beginning of the.
Chadwick was back.
Chadwick was back.
But like Pepper wasn't there.
But like whatever.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. I love that Jon Favreau has done multiple episodes. I think, like,
but him and Disney are like this. Like, there's no way he's not going to do it.
But that's the thing I kind of liked. I like that the people who really love doing this stuff are down to do it, and that the people who might not have been interested, like they definitely weren't going to get ScarJo because they were already planning to fuck her over. So I'm sure they're just like, hey, maybe we don't ask her to do us favors when we know we're going to screw her over in the next little while.
Yeah, but like Tom Holland, out of all people, it's like, dude, like. All due respect, I'm not saying you're not a good actor or anything, but like, hey, you and Chris Hemsworth, like, come on.
Homie, let's be honest. Holland, you need Marvel. No offense, but your Chaos Walking wasn't good. Your Cherry movie didn't do well. You have not landed a solid film that was outside of Marvel. Chaos Walking is the one where
that's the one where apparently they hear the voices of people. Yeah, that was a bad movie. I never got a chance
it's not good. It's not good.
Oh, I didn't mind that.
Really bad.
It wasn't that bad.
You liked it?
It was
good. That already says I'm going to judge him basically based off on Uncharted, because I find that hilarious. He looks like it looks like Uncharted. It looks like Uncharted Junior, the second Junior of the night.
He does.
I want to watch Uncharted. You're right, because I want to see what it looks like when he gets a big action film and he's not Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because Chaos Walking could have been that, and hey, if you liked it, that's fair. I'm just saying I didn't think it was great. There's a lot of stuff.
It wasn't great. It was, and the stuff at the end was concept for sure.
Right, and the stuff at the end was all reshoots because the original ending didn't work. So when I was watching it, I was just like, yeah, this didn't work that well either, guys. Like, I don't know what you guys like Ridley, what's her name? Daisy Ridley's hair. Like you could, like when you can really tell that they had to do reshoots, but the people have changed. So you just get the sense of like there's no continuity. Same thing with the bad Fantastic Four that came out, the last one with Teller. Like I just didn't like it, man. I don't like when they have to do those reshoots because it makes me feel like the vision for the film wasn't there, so they had to add on at the end.
Yeah, it makes you ask the question why. Like, why are we doing this? And like it's just like why the last man, Brian? Why the last man?
This motherfucker is going for threes.
I think yeah, it's true. He hasn't really had a major movie, but
he hasn't.
That movie with Rob Pattinson, he was pretty good in that. The devil.
Oh, yes.
The devil.
I heard people say
all the
it was
time.
good, but again, not an action. So yes, you're right. I did hear people talk about it. I heard a lot of people say he was really good in it. I want to see what happens when he does an action film, because I know he can act. I just want to see an action film that's not Spider-Man. Because Chaos Walking, I was really.
And if you take him seriously enough in that role, you're saying.
Yeah. I want to see.
You know what I think goes against him in that way?
He looks like a kid.
Yeah, it's the Harry Potter thing.
Yeah.
His face
Daniel
like,
Radcliffe thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's the haircut or if it's not the no facial hair, but it's
Daniel Radcliffe, though. Did you guys see Horns with Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah, but see how many years it took for him to break out of that sort of kid mold. And
I mean, how old was he when how old was he when he did the last Harry Potter?
In his teens,
by that time, he was probably
let's say 17.
No, he was way older by that point, for sure.
Oh shit,
18,
for
19?
sure. There was like 7 Harry Potter movies.
They did 7 movies, and he started when he was 7 or 8. And
but they did it in roughly 10 years.
What are you guys talking about? He wasn't 7 in the first Harry Potter.
How old is he?
Oh my god. Okay, hold on.
I
don't know, but
I'm not trying to be an asshole. I thought he was 7 or 8 when he got.
I'm not trying to be an asshole.
Like, I'm not trying to make him younger to make a point. I honestly thought he was like 7 or 8.
He was 11 in the first Harry Potter.
Oh shit!
And by the time the last one came out,
he's 11 in the first.
Yeah, man.
Well,
the time the last one came out, he was for sure 20, 21 because it was like 10 years.
The older you get, the like when you look at a kid, the ability to tell how old they are goes out the window.
I'm like, he's acting like that at 7. That's crazy.
I mean, I don't know that if he's a good actor, he's a good actor. What am I supposed to say?
Yeah,
I really thought that motherfucker was like 7 or 8 years old. He's 11. Shit.
Yeah, he was like 11,
even
12.
At 11, that's impressive.
Yeah, so I think.
Yeah. Okay. Shit. That's crazy. But yeah, okay. So they did 7 movies. They did one every year and a half. So yeah,
22 or so by the time the last one came out. So like it took him almost a decade to shed the childlike image. And whereas now he's like 36, 30, whatever, and he's able to
while still making the money off of the original property.
Yeah, but he's also done West End, I think, in the UK. He's done like Broadway in the West End. He's done plays. He did Horns. He did a few other movies, and then now he's
What's that one where he was undercover in a Nazi. That was a good movie.
I didn't see that one.
No, I didn't see that.
Wow.
I still want to see that handgun one that you were talking about.
Guns Akimbo.
Yeah.
That was good too. Actually.
Yeah. But hey, I'm not Tom Holland. Fingers crossed, we see something cool soon. That's all I'm saying. And I think Sony likes you. Like Sony genuinely likes working with you. You can tell. Marvel and Sony both like working with you. So that's all it is.
That's one thing you notice though, right? All these guys are in the same movies now.
Yeah.
All the Marvel, Disney guys, every single movie stars at least like a couple of them in the same, I mean, opposite each other. They just recycle.
Dude, if Disney could go back to the model of signing actors to exclusive deals, like in the 30s and all that shit, I don't doubt for a second that Disney would sign everyone that they get working on their Marvel movies
100%.
to exclusive deals and then just give them other properties. And if you were smart, if Disney was smart, you would give them how they like all the studios are giving people exclusive deals now. You would sign those production companies that they all have because every fucking one of them has a production company now.
Of course.
And Disney would just make deals with all their production companies. First look, Disney, here's your retainer, and you guys do all these projects for us. and we're probably going to sign off on these projects you want to make. Because guess what? At the end of the day, the money it would cost us for the retainer is paid out by the money we make from the movie you're in. You're going to just cover yourselves. Why? We're not going to lose anything.
You're going to cover yourselves in your next 2 movies in case.
Right.
Do you think it's just not announced and it's already happening?
I think some of them have deals. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
For sure. I'm 100% sure Robert Downey, because the second Robert Downey was out of his contract, he started doing random things with random people that he wasn't doing before.
Yeah.
Like he has like associated. He's done some stuff for Netflix. He's producing some movie. I think it's a DC movie about some kid who's like has horns or whatever. Actually, and
there's like a no complete clause in every Disney contract.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably
for sure, because like it's just like how you can't do certain types of activities that would potentially put you at risk, right?
Right.
So like, why would you not have something similar?
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, and like for sure, Chris Evans, they were like, look, just don't do any action movies, and he's like, okay,
yeah,
because other than Captain America, he's not done any real action movies since that time.
Knives
Out.
Out.
Yeah, but that's not really action. That was
no, that's what I'm trying to think of what he's done since. He did Knives Out.
That assassin movie.
Evans. Recently?
Well, he wasn't the assassin. The guy from Boardwalk Empire was an assassin, and he was like one of his buddies in the film. The guy who was the cop in Boardwalk Empire. He has the Iceman.
Yeah, I know you're talking about, but
Chris Evans isn't that.
Zod, the guy who played Zod, right?
Yeah, Chris Evans was in that movie, but like, you know, it's not an action movie, but
the Snowman.
He's done a few sleepers, but
it's not the Snowman or Iceman.
It's Iceman. Is that what it's called? I think it's Iceman or something. The Iceman.
But yeah, Evans. Yeah, no, Evans. When I think of Evans after, he also shed the muscle because he didn't want to maintain it, so he stayed fit, but he's not as muscular. Because in Knives Out, you can see he's much slimmer. And then what's the other one?
It's work, man. Like Chris Hemsworth, like his diet. His diet was like eggs.
Yeah,
like not even cooked, just like the yolks.
What was the other guy?
I'm telling you, man. They probably do it so much that it's just like you get sick of it and you just want to eat whatever the hell you want after a while. It's tough. It is tough for sure.
What's his name? Gerard Butler, who did
the 300? 300 was done. He said, screw it.
But did you hear what his guy?
But he said screw it for the rest of his career, though.
Yeah. So true, though. Yeah. He got traumatized by the freaking training regime.
Well, my buddy worked out at the gym. My buddy was buddies with his trainer because that was filmed in Montreal, and he worked out at the same gym.
Yeah.
And my old co-host from when I was back at CJLO, Scooter, shout out to DJ Scooter, worked out at that gym too and was a fitness guy. And was saying like the only thing they would let him eat was rice and fish. That's it. That was
my God.
It'll work. Again, if that's all you're eating, it'll
training.
Work.
Yeah.
But you'll burn out and like you'll hate fish for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I'm sure all he eats now is steaks. He must go.
He can afford it, so
he has cows in his backyard being like, never again.
That's
in his backyard.
So why The Last Man? I'll quick review. Did you guys all get to watch the first 3 episodes?
I didn't watch it yet.
I didn't watch anything. I read the comic book. Is it good compared to the first few issues of the comic book? That's a no.
No.
That's
are
a no.
Are the reviews that I've read accurate?
What did they say? So tell me what people are saying, because I'll tell you my vibe after.
I heard it's not been well received.
The characters don't really hit well in terms of Yorick and his like the monkey.
Oh yeah.
And just the pacing just doesn't feel the same as the graphic novel.
Agreed. Yeah.
Okay.
So the actor who's playing Yorick, I don't know if in the first episode he's kind of stiff because he came into the project. Because remember, there was another actor who bailed, and then this guy got brought in to play Yorick.
Right.
So that's the first thing. The guy who was originally supposed to play him is now in Eternals. So we'll see how he does as an actor. He's the blue-eyed Irish kid. So we're going to see him in a minute. But in the meantime, this new dude who's playing Yorick, I thought he did a good job as Yorick, but already the show has made weird changes that I don't understand, and I'm hoping that they're going to explain it. My partner says they're
changes to the plot or changes to characters?
Changes to the plot.
Such as give the
Uh,
biggest one that you would.
Well, for instance, Beth is not in Australia.
Oh,
She's
where?
around him.
Beth is with him, and when
No, that's the whole
yeah,
point.
Yeah.
exactly. So again, I don't know that this is
Damn.
Like he's supposed to be go looking for her, isn't
I
that
know.
the?
That's literally the
I know.
only motivation.
Okay, so hold on.
Oh,
we could go on a rant about that. I don't want to hear
But
about that rant.
well,
I want to
did-
hear
did-
something else. Give me something else.
No, but let me
something else.
explain that one real quick. So you know at the beginning how he's doing magic tricks for her
Yeah.
over the Zoom.
Yeah.
Instead, they changed that to him he's been hired by someone to teach a kid how to do magic. So already when the show
Okay.
starts off with that, I'm like, okay,
They're
that's
trying to modernize it a bit.
Yeah, so I was just
Okay.
like, okay, this is interesting. His relationship with the monkey, like is very odd. I don't know if that has to do with like the trainer the monkey isn't as comfort, whatever it is. They don't seem like they're connected. It's almost like Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Wait, sorry, they went with a real monkey, not a CG.
Oh, it's a real monkey. I don't think.
They should have done the CG animals. Like, what's that HBO show?
Yes.
Um,
His Dark Materials.
Yeah,
100%. Yo,
It's
his
too
Dark
expensive?
Materials does such a good job with their CGI animals, demons or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
They do such a good job that I'm okay with the fact that they're CGI. Had they done that on this show so that Yorick and the monkey look like they have that kind of relationship,
Yeah.
cool. Because his relationship with the monkey is like the monkey doesn't seem to fuck with him. Like, the monkey,
Is he scared? Just out of curiosity, does it look like he's scared of the monkey?
well, that's what I was about to say. You know how is that a title? The monkey doesn't fuck with him.
I feel like it should.
Oh my gosh.
But you know how in the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina,
Yeah.
like the actress was allergic to the cat. That's why you don't see her with Salem a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you watch this show, Yorick looks like he's allergic to the monkey. They don't have the monkey around him often. Like the interactions with him and the monkey feel weird. Like the
That
monkey
doesn't make any sense.
Dude, ampersand is there like
all
the time.
All
Dude,
the time.
There's the first episode, like first or second episode, there's already a scene where like ampersand just disappears on him, and he spends the whole episode trying to figure out where he went, and he's like kind of just moody. Also, he doesn't wear his mask all the time, so he's out in public. He gets seen by someone at one point. Like there's so many things.
The whole point of him,
I know.
What is
he's
happening?
supposed to be
Like,
scared because girls would want to kill. Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm
so
not
they
watching
didn't-
this show.
No. I would say watch it for yourselves because maybe this was just my vibe off of it.
But they literally
Your vibe
took
sounds very
what
accurate.
I liked. They really took the things you like about the graphic novel so far from what I'm hearing from you and took it out and changed. Why it didn't need to be changed.
The fact that Beth is with him, like, so the story starts with him proposing to Beth in person. The proposal doesn't go well. She's going to Australia the next day. That's why he's proposing. He's proposing before she leaves because he wants her to feel connected to him. She tells him, I don't know if I want, like, she doesn't say it, but she kind of reacts like, homie, no, I'm going to go to Australia and do this thing. I don't want you to be there and then me feel uncomfortable while you're there, while I'm trying to get my education and you're there by yourself.
Wait, okay. Does she get to Australia?
We don't know. The way it is he proposes to her, they get into a fight, she leaves, and that's when the thing happens. So the next morning, he wakes up, he realizes that the world has gone tits up, he doesn't know what the fuck to do, and Beth is missing. So now he's trying to figure out, well, where's Beth? And that's the thing that bothers me, because he's not going to Australia as his motivation to find Beth.
It's not such an impossible task all of a sudden.
Yeah, Beth
because with how things are going in the comic book, it's like he's not only not on the same continent, this whole shit is happening.
Yeah. No, this time Beth could be in the same city as him. He just has no way.
She could be next door.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, there are people who everyone keeps telling him like she probably died because of the train, because there's like a huge train subway station crash that happened in New York when this happened. And a lot of people can't be found. and Beth and everyone, like when he finally starts talking to people, when he sees his mother and all that stuff, that stays the same. But his mom's trying to tell him,
Diane
like,
Lane is his mom, right?
But
yes,
but
and she
that
does
means
a great
okay.
job.
That
She does
means if that happens right away, there's no time for them to develop all the lack of groups or cults that they have in the comic.
We haven't been introduced to any of them.
But it's impossible because it's not going to happen in a day. The one where there's the girls who all do the old archery trick. I don't want to say.
Yeah,
it,
no,
but that's like they're not going to do. That's not going to happen after one day of panic.
No. The only thing that we've seen so far is the trans men are running, which we know we saw in the comic book that there's like the same group you're talking about was hunting the trans men. So the trans men are trying to go all the way up north to Vermont. The reason you meet the trans men is because Hero, Yorick's sister, is best friends with a trans man, and I don't know why this man sticks around her. Like the whole time, she is toxic as like. Oh, okay. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Guys,
How does Hero get introduced in this?
Can I spoil it for you?
Yes,
yeah, of course.
This is really gonna
I so far do not want to watch this show, so please continue.
Guys,
I'll watch it, but I'm not
if
impressed.
If you're watching this right now, I'm about to spoil something that's very major from the show. If you do not want the spoiler, I recommend you stop watching. I'm not because this is something that really bothered me, and I wouldn't have wanted to know when I was watching the show because I
mute your speakers and come back in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
There you go.
So in the comic book how she's hooking up with the guy in the ambulance.
Yeah.
In the comic book, so correct me if I'm wrong. In the comic book, she's having that relationship with the guy. She has sex with him, and then he dies.
Yeah,
right
in front of her.
Do they have an argument?
No,
I don't remember. Okay, because I don't remember them having an argument in the show. Yeah, if you have it, look through it. Because in the show,
I've always got it.
Yeah,
I always.
In the show, are you guys ready for this?
Go for it.
So she's an ambulance driver. She's a recovering alcoholic. I think that's still the same. Why the Last Man? Go check it out. Brian K. Vaughan, Pia Guerra, right? I think is the other person. So she's in a relationship with her partner that she does the ambulance technician. They start a shift together. He tells her, I told my wife, I told her everything. And you're just like, okay. So this guy's now married. He has a kid. So they're adding elements to this character. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, none of that happened.
None of that happened.
Right. And so they don't have an argument, right?
They have sex in the back of an ambulance. They dress
they're
up.
dating. They're not.
Off, they're both going off to work, and then as she was saying goodbye to him, he dies in her arms.
Yeah, they completely changed it, and this is what really pissed me off. She has sex with him. He steps outside of the ambulance. He sees a dog dying. A male dog is dying. He comes back into the ambulance and tells her, hey, something's going on. She throws his phone at him and says, your wife messaged you and said pick up diapers when you're on your way back. They start arguing. She kills him by accident and starts freaking out, sitting in the ambulance because she hits him with something that cuts his throat. He starts bleeding out. He dies. She can't figure out how to do anything. She's sitting there like freaked out. She's covered in blood. The next morning, the thing happens. So now everyone is just like, oh my God, what's going on? She's roaming the streets covered in blood. Everyone just assumes it's the blood from all the other men that are dying on the street. And that's how her whole character motivation now is I've killed someone and I feel guilty. And that shit's fucking pissed me off.
Oh my, why do we need to change?
Yeah.
On that note, Dave's out.
Yeah, Dave
why do we need to change those things?
Yeah. I honestly, guys,
that's a horrible premise.
Yeah. So at one point, when she's supposed to be helping the trans men find all the stuff they need because they're gonna bike all the way to Vermont from where they are in New York. So they need like bike chains, equipment, water, food. They need testosterone because they're all still transitioning. So they like raid and get testosterone and all this stuff. And she's supposed to be helping them collect stuff. And instead, she's going to the like shelter near where the guy's wife is and is hanging around waiting for the wife. And at the end, she goes and gets the guy's ID from his pocket because like the all the people that are dying that have died, all the men that have died, they're getting their IDs so that you can look, so that family members can find out like, yes, this person was found here, so that you actually know what's going on. Because otherwise you have no clue, like, where's my husband's body?
Yeah.
So what does she do? She feels guilty, goes and gets the ID, the guy's ID, goes, finds the wife, gives her the ID, and then the wife smiles and she's like, it's you. I knew I wasn't crazy. And that's it. So
why am I watching this?
Yeah.
This,
the woman thinks that the woman knows that her husband cheated on her, but she doesn't know that the husband died because Hero killed him. And
they just Riverdale the hell out of this hoe.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's
okay,
crazy.
So with
there was
that,
no
with that
reason
thing,
to add that stuff. You didn't need to add an element to why Hero needs to be. Hero was an asshole. And Hero gets brainwashed in the comic book. Like, why are you adding this weird angle of like she's gonna be depressed and angry for this act that she did? For what? What's it needed for?
With that being said, I actually got to bounce, and I'm happy to bounce because I don't want to hear any more of this.
Well, I mean,
I really don't. I don't want to.
If Toby has something, we're going to discuss it now, but we can sign off because I'm pretty much those were
I'm good on that note. That's crazy.
That's it for
now.
me. So,
now I don't feel like watching it actually.
All right.
So with that being said, I'm going to leave and not watch Why the Last Man. Peace,
man.
Later, Dave. Dang, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, dude. It was really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Because so one of the things, we read the comic and we did an episode of that's canon about it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we did it, we said Brian K. Vaughan's a cool writer. He writes women really weird. That was one of the things, because all these archetypes of women, we were just like, this is really weird. But now Eliza Clark, I think, is the woman who's working and like is producing the show for television.
Wait, and Eliza Clark. Why does that sound familiar?
I think that's the person's name. I could be wrong. Eliza.
It's not that actress from The 100, is it?
No, that's Eliza Taylor.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Even
Eliza
then.
Clark, Why the Last Man? Yeah, Eliza Clark. I was right.
Okay.
So Eliza Clark is now I think the showrunner for this one. I don't know.
These choices sound odd, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
That's depressing. I'm like, who? I guess they're what. This is what makes TV nowadays. Like, this is probably what people watch. Like these kinds of plot lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know who else it's for. It's not for the fans of the comic.
No.
Just based off what I'm hearing, it's not.
and the thing I find weird is I think if the fans of the comic saw the original, if people who didn't read the comic saw the original, I don't think they would be upset with it. I think the original story still worked. She was having sex with the guy dies. She's freaked out by it. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. You didn't need to add these layers of emotional, why add layers to something that's already going to be traumatizing? They're already going through, every man on earth has died. Why add the fact that she murdered a man?
Yeah, that's so weird.
And got away with it.
And got bailed out by that. Ugh,
yeah, because you know what they're going to do? The trope is going to be, I feel guilty. Yeah, I feel guilty for what I did. I have to punish myself.
Yeah, and I'm going to go all the way now.
Yeah, she's going to punish herself in some weird way.
Well, we know what the weird way is. She's going to be more open to the Amazon way of life. I think. You think they're going to do that?
I don't think they'll do it to the same extent, but I think they'll still introduce them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that really took the wind out of my Why the Last Man sales. Yeah. Like, I've been looking forward to some version of this story, whether TV or movie, for a long time, and this sounds, oh my gosh.
Still watch it again. This is
I'm gonna watch it. Watch it. I know without you even telling me, if I watched it, I'd feel the same way. It's like, why? Literally, why?
That was my thing. Like I'm watching the show and I'm just like, I don't understand the decisions you're making. Like, why is Beth there?
Why is she not in Australia? That's
why is she
you know what? Outside of Hero doing what she did, I could overlook that. But the fact that she's not in Australia already, even if you wanted to propose and she was that far away, and it could have been like she's still there and she's coming back tomorrow. But on the day that she's coming back, this whole thing went down, and now he didn't get a chance to propose, and now he's looking for her to do. But sure, but this fight, but then I wouldn't. Why is he looking for her after? She literally turned you down.
Right? Well, she didn't technically turn him down. He proposed and they just got into a fight over it because he started doing the stupid thing of like, do you know all the things I sacrificed for you? And she's just like, I never asked you to do that stuff. She starts crying. She picks up her stuff. And then he's just like, wait. And then she leaves. And then he doesn't go after her. He gives her time to cool off. But then he wakes up the next morning and the world's gone crazy.
What's funny is actually she would have come looking for you. Right. Because all the men died.
Right. Which is why the fact that she's not in Australia and she's here and didn't come to find him, like you said, completely changes the dynamic of the show.
It does.
Like heavy dynamic of the show. Because then instead of him looking for her and being motivated by finding her, is he motivated by the idea that she didn't even show up for me? She never looked for me. Like, does she care about me? I don't know. So we'll see.
Dang.
We'll get to it real quick.
Let's do it.
Geek news and rumors. First things first, RIP to Norm Macdonald.
Oh my gosh, another RIP.
Yeah, I said it last week. We haven't had a week in a month where we haven't said RIP to someone, to an actor. I know, and again, I'll say the same thing I said last week. I know people die every day. It's just kind of hard to deal with the fact that every episode we do, Ed Asner, Michael K. Williams,
and they're not all old. They're all like 40, 50, 60,
61.
I mean?
But one of the what's the comedian Jeselnik? Anthony Jeselnik?
Yeah.
Anthony Jeselnik wrote, I think, something along the lines of battling cancer for 9 years and not telling anyone is the most Norm Macdonald thing to do. So,
I mean, Chadwick did it in a smaller way, but yeah.
So
one of Norm's what's it called? I don't know if you ever watched a stand-up.
I've watched some of them.
In one of his stand-up specials, he says, "I'm pretty sure I'm not a doctor." But I'm pretty sure if you die, the cancer dies at the same time. That's not a loss. That's a draw.
That's a draw. Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, how crazy is that?
That's a crazy quote for everyone to be pulling up because it's just like, this is very much in line with how he saw things, and it's kind of perfect. It's like, man, I spent the most of the day listening to clips of him on different shows and stuff while I was working, and it was just nice. My favorite, him, Conan O'Brien, and Gordon Ramsay trying to cook, and it was just a fucking disaster. But it's so funny. It's so funny because Gordon Ramsay swears and Norm is swearing, and Conan's just like, we are not going to be able to air this. We're only going to be able to air 7 minutes of this whole episode if you guys don't stop. And they both just keep swearing, and most of it is just bleep, 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 bleep. It's fucking great. It's so good. Lock and Key returns October 22nd. I mentioned that earlier in the episode. Netflix has announced that they're going to be bringing it back. There's a trailer.
A long time to go between seasons, though.
When was the first season? I mean, considering pandemic, though.
2018.
No,
I want to say
Lock and Key is not that long ago.
Lock and Key.
No
I
way.
think so, man. Lock and Key.
2019. At least. Tell me at least 2019. 2018. That sounds crazy.
Okay, February 2020. All right, fine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Wasn't feel
it was a
longer.
pandemic. It was a pandemic release. Okay.
It was it was a pandemic.
It's actually
release.
Impressive that they're doing season 2 this quick then if there was a pandemic in between.
That's true.
That's wild.
That's very true. They didn't really stop. That's crazy. I guess it was filmed 2019 but released in February. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, 2020 just feels like 5 years still.
The fact that you thought it was 2018, that's what I was going to say. Subtract the pandemic year, and I was just like, that makes, like, I could see the end of 2019 maybe, but Batman, the Batman Penguin spinoff series in the works at HBO Max. So I don't know if you guys heard the other rumors, but so now Penguin, Gotham City Police Department, and Catwoman have all been rumored to be getting shows based off of this one, the Batman film. I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna look at you guys right in the camera. I'm gonna say this to the people. Release the movie first, then start planning. Because if people don't like the movie and you guys are already signing deals for these shows, you're gonna be fucked. Because no one's gonna
That's
want to watch these
crazy.
shows.
That's a pattern
Peacemaker-
now. That's a pattern. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a pattern now. That's what they're doing.
Peacemaker was announced before the Suicide Squad got released, and I thought that was a mistake. But the Suicide Squad was good, so now I'm excited for it.
Mhm.
But had the movie been bad, what would you do with this HBO Max 10-episode series that you're going to release that everyone's like, well, the movie sucked, so why would we think the show's going to be any good? I don't get it.
Wow.
I don't get it.
That's crazy.
Dipping into the kind of radio play industry. I know they call them podcasts now, but most people would probably recognize them as radio dramas or podcast dramas at the very least. Batman Unburied enlists Hassan Minhaj as the Riddler. So I think that's the one that has Winston Duke, right? That's supposed to be playing Batman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So
It is.
I'm pretty, or Jeffrey Wright. I know one of them. They're
No,
supposed
it's
to be.
Winston Duke.
It is Winston. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Hassan Minhaj as the Riddler is going to be pretty cool. I like the idea that Hassan has or Hassan. I always feel like I'm saying his name wrong because he
I don't know.
he used to say it on his own show, and but having watched him on his Patriot Act on his series on Netflix,
Mhm.
that kind of delivery of information and that really energetic character, I kind of like the idea of a Riddler like that, who like
it
has
works.
I like that
It
energy.
works.
So if he brings that to it, I think it'll be cool.
I think
it
Lance Reddick works better as like
Ooh.
as because he's supposed to be playing the dad. He's supposed to be playing Thomas Wayne in Batman Unburied, I think. But I think he works better as like a Gordon though. His voice, I don't know why.
Yeah, I could see that. He's commanding.
Yeah. But anyway,
Idris Elba returning to Luther with Netflix film. Who is it? Andy Serkis and Jesus,
Cynthia Erivo.
Thank you, Cynthia Erivo. I always forget her last name. Shout outs to them. That's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to it. This is also like keep giving us Luther every couple years. This is perfect. You're too busy to do a show. Got it. You want to do a movie? Perfect. Give us a whole bunch of just random movies. And last thing I have here,
they got to bring back Alice though. Alice is like the best.
She is
they
very
have
good.
To. Yeah.
She's like one of the.
It's Batman and Catwoman.
Yeah, but it's like Batman and Catwoman and Sherlock and Moriarty combined. Like it's that kind of exactly, I love that kind of twist of it together. Yeah, I think it's cool. What else did we have? The last thing I had here was Sam Richardson and Chris Pratt reteaming for an action comedy called Stranded.
Stranded Asset.
Oh, I thought I totally read that wrong.
Typo.
Yeah.
Stranded Asset.
Yeah.
Hey man, I want more Sam Richardson, man. I don't know about you guys, but
facts.
I'm thoroughly enjoying his form of comedy. 100%.
He's
thoroughly.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he is.
And like
he's not trying hard.
No,
it's like effortless.
Not at all. Yep.
Awkward at times.
Yes.
But effortless.
Yeah. If you guys are looking for a good podcast with him, listen to the one he did with Andy Richter on 3 Questions. Andy Richter has his own podcast, and he gives you his whole backstory about where he grew up, moving between Ghana and Detroit, how he got into acting, hanging out at the bar when he was 18 until he was 21, and then on his 21st birthday the bar owner was just like, happy birthday buddy, how old are you? And he's just like 21, and the bar owner's like, the fuck, like he realized he's been in there for 3 years serving drinks to a kid, and like gets really mad. It's a great, like, check it out, really fun episode. And then Chris Pratt is doing the Pratt thing, just
I like it. I like that pairing. But I definitely cannot recommend Detroiters enough to people.
Oh, dude,
go watch
right?
It. Yeah.
Was I the one that told you about it?
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it.
Great
Such
show.
a good show. And then I don't. Did we talk about his werewolf movie? We did. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We have.
Yeah.
That's good,
I saw someone ask you if you saw *Malignant*. I won't go into a conversation about it, but I will mention that Montreal actor Dan Ramos, who went to my high school, plays Bosco in the film. He's really cool, and if you guys had a chance to see the movie, I would say go see it. I watched clips because my friend's in it, but I didn't watch the actual movie because
it's a horror movie.
I hate horror movies, and
Is it a horror or a slasher, or both?
Both. It's a slasher horror. Yeah.
Cool.
And the twist at the end is the twist at the end is cool. I was just like, I'm actually okay with this twist. I was like, this is cool. Oh, one thing that I forgot to write down that I saw. They're doing another. They're doing Twins, the sequel. It's going to be called Triplets, and it's going to be Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Tracy Morgan is going to play the third triplet in there. yeah, Tracy Morgan. Supposedly it was originally supposed to be Eddie Murphy, and then but Tracy's going to be doing it now. So that's in the works.
The hell?
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. It's in the works though. That's this is Hollywood now.
Be weird. It's already weird.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did you end up seeing Green Knight?
No, I didn't see it yet.
You're right. Set that alarm.
I know. Well, it's because I was supposed to see it with a friend, and my friend wanted to wait till the passports came in because she didn't feel comfortable going before the passports. But the passports are in now, so I'll let her know
if
that.
You want to see it for free? No, let them know.
I know. I'm gonna. You know what? I'll ask her if she's down to just watch it and come hang out and order pizzas and watch it. I do want to see it on the big screen because I do like Dev, but at the same time, it's not one of those movies that I need to see in the theater. So, and based on your reaction,
I wouldn't say you need to see it in theater. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, by the way. I'm just saying it's not worth spending money.
Okay.
That's it. But it's worth the watch just to understand. Like, I want to talk about it because I want to be like, did I read this wrong?
Okay.
Did I not understand what I'm supposed to be getting from this? Like the purpose of this journey. Like what was it really? Like that's what I want to talk about.
Have you read the poem before?
I haven't.
Okay, no. Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can go back and read that and see if it makes sense. But
yeah, if you know this, like I know the story of the poem, and so I always found that story interesting, but see, as a film, I'm interested to see what they do with it. But yeah, okay, cool. That's pretty much it, man. That's the whole show. Next week we are back, and then we're off the 29th, so we won't be here in 2 weeks, but we're here next week with a guest. We're not going to announce the guest just yet, but we have a guest next week.
It's a good one too, guys. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. And then the we won't be the 29th, but the 30th is International Podcast Day, so we might try and drop something for you guys. We'll try and figure out if we have the time to get to make something for you guys, because we still do want to put something out, especially for International Podcast Day. So that's it, guys. That's the whole show. We've had so much fun as always. That's it. Peace, y'all.
Deuces.